everyone. Welcome to episode 11 of Sisters in Service. I am your host, Kat Corchado. Today, we're reviewing Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis. Madeline is president and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute and creator of online course, Crack the Career Code, Unlock the Amazing Power Within to Lead with Confidence, Charisma, and Credibility. She's a trainer, speaker, financial facilitator, author, career strategist, and business consultant, and host of the Success for Women radio/TV show. Everyone, please help me welcome Miss Madeline Lewis. Madeline, welcome.
Hi, hello. Thank you for having me on your platform. I really appreciate it. It's good to see you again.
Yes, absolutely. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, good grief, what don't you do?
Oh, come on.
Wow. I feel so small.
Oh, come on. Stop it. Some of those things, I guess I just fell into them,
Yeah.
It just kind of happened. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Now, Sisters in Service, you do know that Miss Madeline Lewis is a veteran. So, Madeline, tell us a little bit about your service, what you did, and your favorite and not so favorite assignment.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm Army, and I started out, I did 22 years before retiring as a Sergeant Major. I started out in a transportation unit. Mm. That was my first MOS. And in the transportation unit, I was actually in admin. And it was really interesting because when I got into that unit, the first thing the sergeant that was there sat me down and asked me, he said, Lewis, how far do you want to go in the Army? And, I'm young. I didn't know what to say. And I just said, well, as far as I could go. And so he said to me, he says, okay, well, here's what you need to do. Mm-hmm. And he says, whenever you're in a new unit and you're going to be stationed there for a while, he said, make sure you get that training, get that MOS. And so, that turned out to be valuable information because I actually did do that. And because of that, I think that's why I was able to be promoted the way that I was, because I wound up from the transportation unit. I did civil affairs, and mm-hmm. Civil affairs was a unit that we were attached to the 82nd Airborne. So we had to train the way they train. We had to learn to swim in full gear across the pool and all this kind of, it's a good thing I already knew how to swim. But we actually, getting up early in the morning, the running, the way they train, the obstacle courses, and oh my goodness. So
like, what have I done?
I know. But that was, it was very interesting being in a civil affairs unit and being trained like that. I also have the intelligence designation. Mm. So it was when I ended my career, I ended at Fort Belvoir, Virginia. Mm-hmm. And I, at that point, I had gotten the instructor MOS. And so I was the commandant of the training unit. I had 80 soldiers under my command, and I was responsible for 3 training sites. And so I had soldiers at each one of those sites, and they were all trainers. And we taught the Army's basic and advanced leadership courses. And,
so you were running it. You were running the show.
Yes.
I love that.
And it was interesting. I loved it. I loved the soldiers. They were so committed to, the training and making sure these soldiers, because that was for them to get that, go through that training was a requirement. Mm-hmm. For them to be promoted. And mm-hmm. So, we really had to make sure that they were able to get through it and different things like that. But I don't know, I think my best assignment was as an instructor in the instructor unit, mm-hmm. being able to train, because I guess I love training.
Right.
And the least favorite probably would have been my first assignment to transportation unit, because then I had to learn how to drive these big old trucks.
Mhm.
I had to learn how to service these big old trucks, So I believe that was probably the least favorite of all my assignments. And of course, I was assigned um, I was, stationed in other places like Germany and different
Yeah.
things like that. But, those were to me fun. I was okay with those assignments.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was okay with
Yeah.
that. Except for the cold, and when it got cold in Germany. But other than that, I was okay with the assignments. So I can't say any of them was really horrible, but if I had
Mhm.
to say my least favorite, it would have been the transportation unit.
Okay.
Hmm.
So let's talk a little bit about the Executive Women's Success Institute that you are the president and CEO. Is this your baby? Is this something you came up with? And what prompted you to do this?
You know what? The Executive Women's Success Institute is a place where women can come if they want to, in their careers, if they want to get into upper management or executive leadership type positions, they can come there and get the training that they need to just kind of figure out how to get into those spots. Because, and I started I have a program that I started called the 8 Habits of Highly Successful Women. And
Mm-hmm.
I put that program together to put women through because there aren't a lot of women in higher executive management type positions in a lot of organizations, in
Exactly.
federal government even too. And I did research to come up with that program. I interviewed 20 females in and around the Washington, D.C. area that were in executive leadership positions. And I wanted to find out how they got there, how they're able to stay there, the obstacles they faced, and, different things like that. And in doing that, I was able to put the program together because that way I could put women through this program to kind of help them to sidestep some of those obstacles, to learn what they need to learn to get into those upper management positions, understanding that when you enter a room, you don't sit in the back, that you go up to the front, learning how to toot your own horn. As women, we don't do that,
We do not do that.
Yes, we do not, it's not bragging. It's not, being just look at me, I can do it. No, it's
Mhm.
letting people know what you know. Because if you don't and you sit there, then you, as females, you get overlooked. You'll get
Exactly.
talked over and everything else. And I know that. And when I was working in the federal government, I also realized there weren't a lot of females in those higher ranking positions. And there weren't a lot of females helping other
Other
women to get
females.
there.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
so, and I had, even when I was in the military, because I was being promoted and, to different levels, I had women coming to me wanting to know, how did I do it? Can
Mhm.
you help me with my packet? Can you, when I was in the federal government, can you help me with, go through an interview? So I used to do mock interviews with them and different things like that. And I
Mhm.
just felt like if that is what they're seeing in me and I can help them, why not do it on a larger scale? And so
Right.
that's why I created the Executive Women's Success Institute, to be able to help women to go through and just find out the things that they need to get into those
Mhm.
positions that they're trying to get into. And if they're transitioning out of the workplace and they want to get into business, then we have a program that can help them with that also.
So you're the everything woman to come to. You're
Well,
like, oh,
I
got
don't
a
know about
question,
that,
come to
but
Madeline.
it's just the passion to help. I always say what I do it to help women. Men can benefit from the programs, but it's mostly for women to help
Right.
them, because men will help men up that ladder.
Yes.
Even if they don't
Yes.
like each other, they will help each other.
Help. Yes.
And women, not so much.
Not so
And
much.
that's the one thing that I've seen in my career that I just really thought that's just not the way to do it.
So how do women, if they need your help in this realm, for at the Success Institute, is it something that's done online? Are you doing it through Zoom? Do you do one-on-one? How do you do that?
Well, of course, before COVID, I would go out and I could do programs and training and different things face to face. But of course, now most of what I do is on Zoom or StreamYard or what have you. As a matter of fact, before this call, I had just finished up a business seminar it was 3 days. So you have to kind of change with what's going on. And so even though there were times when I did do Zoom even before COVID, I didn't do it as much because you could travel.
You didn't have to.
Yeah, I could
Why
go
do Zoom where you can go to California?
Exactly, the physical location. So, but now because of the way things are, I just changed and everything is, mostly online. And of course, there is still that one-on-one, but the one-on-one will be, of course, like you and I are doing one-on-one right now, or a phone call if they prefer to do a phone call. So, just still getting that information to them, but making sure that it's getting to them in a safe manner now.
So take us back a little bit to when you created your online course. Is this part of the Executive Women's Success Institute, or is this something, who's that perfect woman who says, okay, I need this online course?
Yes, if they are in the workplace and they're in their careers, and if they are stuck and trying to figure out, why am I not being promoted? Why am I not moving? What is it that I need to do to get from point A to point B? Then that course is a good course for them to take, because I walk them through the different aspects of, the things that they need to know about their careers, the things that they need to know about networking, the things that they need to know about having a mentor, the things that they just need to know about creating and strategizing your own career. Because, some people sit back and think that just because I've been working on a job for 5-10 years, then they should promote me. That's
exactly.
not true. That's not true. Yeah. Are you working to that level? And so not everything, I tell women all the time, if you're not being promoted, it may not be because, they don't want to promote you. It may be because you have not performed at the level you need to perform at to show them that you deserve that promotion, that you should be promoted. Exactly. And it may just be that you need to work on your communication skills. You need to work on your writing skills. So let's see what it is that you need to get where you're trying to go, I should say.
And sometimes where you want to go, you just don't know how to get there. What are the steps to get there? So that's something that you do, is you say, okay, let's break this down. Okay, let's work here. You need to work on this a little bit. This is fine, but you may need to work here a little bit. Absolutely. And so it starts to get them to realize the homework that they have to do.
That's exactly what it's all about. And the Institute is a safe place for them to come and to be able to do that.
And I think that's important too, because sometimes women feel that if they're going to be in another group with women, that it's going to be competitive and it's going to be. Right. And so when women realize that whatever it is they're involved with is a safe place to be, then they start to relax.
Absolutely.
And then they might even find like they like each other,
Yeah, absolutely. Even the group that I had, that I was doing today, that we just ended today, we're just going to do one more follow-up. But when they started out, these ladies didn't really know each other. And I wound up pairing two of them together because I wanted them to work on a project. And at the end, they had to do a presentation. But it's like at the end, you could see the difference in how they came together, and they were even collaborating. They were congratulating each other and encouraging each other. And see, that's what women need to do more of.
Yes.
Yes.
Preach, Miss Madeline. Absolutely. I totally agree. Yeah. Once we get past that barrier, it's like, okay, this is cool. Exactly. You might even end up making a friend. You never know,
That's right. Absolutely.
So you are also an author. How many books have you written? What are the names of the books?
Oh, wow. My first book was Playing from the Blue Tea, Women in the Federal Government. My next book was Overcoming the Superwoman Syndrome. And that was I was co-author in that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I co-authored about 3 books. My second book that I wrote was Finding Your Best Inside, How to Persevere and Become the person you're meant to be. So
Wow.
2 books I wrote on my own, and
Mm-hmm.
then 3 I co-authored. Yeah.
So what prompted you to write? Was it something that was always there? You're like, I really want to write a book, because I've never wanted to write a book ever. That doesn't
Mhm.
mean I won't, there might come a time, but some people just feel this need to write. Was that something that was just in you and you felt like you needed to write the book?
Well, I think with Playing from the Blue Tea, that book was written because I, again, wanted to just give information that I had gathered, that I had experienced, that I had seen, and I wanted to share that with other women. For Finding Your Best Inside, that book came around the time when my mom she was ill. And when she passed, it was just, for me, I think that book helped me to just kind of express some of the things that I needed to express.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how those 2 books came about. With the books that I co-authored, I was just asked if I wanted to be a part of a project, like
Mm-hmm.
Overcoming the Superwoman Syndrome. I loved it because it was the other women that we all wrote a chapter in the book.
Mm-hmm.
And mine, I think, was, what was it? Stress sabotaging your life, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was that book. I really had fun doing that. And I think after co-authoring with that one, the same person came back and asked me if I wanted to participate again. And so I did. And so that's how I wound up doing it again. But the Overcoming the Superwoman Syndrome really took off because I had journalists calling because they wanted a quote from me about the Superwoman Syndrome and
Right.
things like, because around that time when that book was written, it was like women was, just trying to do it all. It's like,
Everything.
what is it? I
Yes.
can fry up the bacon and put it in the pan and all of that.
Right.
So, and it was one of those things where after doing that book, then I really put together a presentation that said, you can't be all things to all people, because sometimes you just have to say no.
Right.
And but at that time, though, Overcoming the Superwoman Syndrome, that was just what women were doing. They were on that treadmill of life, and sometimes it was just hard for them to
Too
get off.
much. Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
I think too that's a book that's still relevant even now.
Oh yeah.
And I think sometimes, my husband was telling me, oh, you can't, multitask, because multitasking means you're not giving full attention, to either task. But
Mhm.
sometimes I feel as though women get pulled into that role,
Yes.
And we have no choice but to multitask because we're put into that position,
That's
and
true. That is very true. But
yeah,
sometimes you have to step back and make sure that it's not affecting you to the point where, it becomes, you just have no time
it's
to yourself. You can't do, there's just no time in the day for you,
right.
because you just filled your day with doing things for everybody else. And
Mhm.
that those people that you're filling your time with, they have time for themselves, because
Right.
you're doing what they probably should be doing anyway. And
Right.
that's why I said sometimes you just have to say no. And one of the things I tell women, and I was just telling a friend of mine that just the other day, one day this week, she and I was talking, and she was saying, oh, I was just so tired. I've been running and running. I said, I tell you this all the time. No is a complete sentence, and you need to start using it.
How about no period?
Yes. And that's why I said it's a complete sentence. Use it. So,
Oh, yeah. I think women need to sometimes, say take that step back,
Mm-hmm.
even now, even with COVID, sometimes I'm just like, I'm doing this and I'm doing this. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, my husband will say, what are you doing today? And I'll say, absolutely nothing,
Yeah, absolutely.
because I need that time. I need that time for my brain to just not
And
do
I do
anything.
that. I tell you, I do that. Sometimes I'll just say to myself, tomorrow, I am just not going to do anything.
Hmm.
Nothing's going to be on the calendar. I may not even answer the phone. I may look at it, but not answer it, you
I
know?
know. I
Mm-hmm.
think one of my favorite things to do is I'll watch a movie that I have seen a million times.
Yes. And you just
And
love it.
if I
Even though you've seen it, you love it
Exactly.
still.
And if I fall asleep and wake up, I'll go, oh, yeah, I remember that part. And then I'll
Yeah.
fall back to sleep, you know? And my husband will say, do you want to watch a movie? And I'm like, do I have to think, or am I just being entertained?
Yes,
So if I have to figure
absolutely.
something out, I don't have the brain power right now.
Absolutely. And it's funny you should say that because I guess I'm one of these people that um when I'm just watching it to enjoy it and not, like you say, think, then it's great. Because if I'm looking at a movie and it's not because I'm just trying to relax, but I'm just watching this movie, I see things. I see things that I go, dang, well, didn't they notice that shouldn't
Mhm.
be in there? I'm picking up on the little, like, oh, they changed her shoes for that scene.
I
Or
know.
why is her hair not in a ponytail now when it was,
I know. They're like, wait, her hair was short and now it's long.
so
Wait a
I
minute.
pick up on different things that I don't know why that is, but I do. I catch the little things that they have in these movies sometimes. And so that's why sometimes I just, like you said, I just watch and don't want to think.
Don't
And a
want to
lot of
think.
times if I do that, I may fall asleep on it also.
Yeah. Those are the best days, man.
Hmm.
The best
Hmm.
days. So I know that you're also a career strategist.
Hmm.
So in the COVID era of
Hmm.
people losing their jobs, what one thing, if you could pick one thing, and I know it's not one thing, but if you had some advice for someone who lost their job during COVID, what would be that one piece of advice you could give to someone as far as their career is concerned?
Well, the one thing I would say is, don't give up. Don't let that be the thing that beats you down. Because if say, for example, the place that you were working for, they closed down or something like that, don't take it personal that it's you in some way.
Right.
And yes, it may be because of the way things are going, what's going on right now. It may be hard to look at it as a positive, but keep thinking that, hey, something else better might be out there for you. And
Right.
you need to not stop moving. You need to keep moving forward, but don't drown yourself in the fact that, oh, I'm not working anymore. What am I going to do? Don't give
Right.
into that, because if you give into that, then you're not going to move. You're going to just kind of go into a place
Mhm.
where you may not be able to pull yourself back out. But there are still places that are hiring out there. There are still places that are looking for people with experience. And there are still places out there where you can work, where you can still feel safe,
Right.
during this time working. Now, granted, it may not be the exact position that you had. It may not be the exact money that you had.
Hmm.
But the thing of it is, you want to keep moving. You don't want to get stuck in a rut saying that I can't find anything. No one will hire me.
Right.
I can only do this one thing. We can do
Hmm.
anything we set out to do, set our
Hmm.
minds to do. You just got to follow through on it. And so that would be my one piece of advice, is to not give up on yourself.
Well, I think also too is that taking, even if it seems like it's just a tiny step forward,
Mhm.
you're still moving
You're
forward.
still moving. That's what I mean. Don't stop
Mhm.
moving. Right. Hmm.
All right. So we are also going to talk about being a business consultant. So in this era, a lot of people have quick pivoted and decided to do a business. Maybe it's like, I'm doing my podcast.
Hmm.
No, I'm not making money at it, but it's something that's near and dear to my heart. So
Right.
if someone wants to start a business, do you have like a checklist, or do you have something that, that you would tell someone if they say, hey, I want to do a business doing whatever, what would you say to them? Let's say I came to you and I said, Madeline, I want to do a online business selling t-shirts. What would you say to me?
Well, I would first find out from you, how do you plan to set your business up? I mean, are you going to sell it out of the back of your car? Sell those t-shirts out of the back of your car? Mm-hmm. Are you going to sell them from your garage? What is your plan? Mm-hmm. Because you have to have some type of plan to go forward. You need to know, who you're going to be selling those shirts to. Are you selling shirts for kids? Are you selling shirts for adults? Mm-hmm. What's the plan? Are you going to have a variety? You're going to be selling a variety of shirts to kids and adults. Mm-hmm. So first you have to have a plan as to what you're going to do, where you're going to do it. I would say if during these times, if you're starting, then if you can start in your home, that would be great. I mean, no one wants to go out and try to find space. And
not right now.
Yeah. And so, doing it from your home is great. Then the next thing you have to figure out, do I need, what do I need to be able to do this from my home? Do I need to have a license? Do I need to be certified in any way? Of course, selling t-shirts, you probably don't, but you may need a license,
right,
to sell the t-shirts out of your home.
Mm-hmm.
And then you want to find out who's going to be your market, who's your target, your market that you're going to be selling those shirts to. Are you going to try to sell them to maybe exercise facility that's opening or that's open and they're still doing okay, so maybe they'll buy your shirts from you? Or are you just going to try to catch the person passing in front of your house and say, hey, you want to get a t-shirt?
You have to find your niche. What's your niche?
Exactly.
Who are you selling to?
You got to figure out how you're going to do that. And you also have to figure out how you're going to put the word out that you're selling shirts. Right. And you have to make sure that if you say, for example, like you and I are talking right now and I'm on your show. And if I had just started doing show, I might say, oh, as a thank you for having me on your platform, I'd like to gift you one of my free t-shirts. Now, then I have someone I've given a t-shirt that'll be wearing that t-shirt that's advertising free for me. And someone asks you, well, where'd you get that t-shirt? And you could say, oh, well, my guest, Madeline Lewis, gave me that. So there you go. And so these are some of the things that you can do. But in the program as a business consultant, we have different programs. We have a program that if you already have a business and you need to start, expand, or if you need to launch a product or what have you, we could take you through, that in your business. If you really want to do a deep dive in your business, then we have a program that's actually 6 months that called the Women's Advantage that we could take you through that will help you. And this will, at this point, you will find out all those things I said. Should I, work from my house? Do I need a certification?
Right.
How do I set this up? How do I set that up? Do I have to have my business plan? Do I need to have a team working with me? You don't have to go out and get a 7-man team when you're just starting out.
Right.
I mean, when a lot of things that I do in my business, I may do virtually. Virtual. Like sometimes when I have graphics done, I'll have a person that does that for me, graphic. Right. My person that handles my website lives in Canada. Never seen him. Never seen him. But takes
great fix this, please.
Great job. Yes. So, those are the types of things that you want to know and have a plan for, because
so it sets you up for success.
So it sets you up, like that elevator pitch that people talk about all the time. It's real.
It's real.
It's real. Because if I get in the elevator with you and you say, "Oh, how you doing? What do you do?" I need to be able to tell you that before those doors open.
Exactly.
So these are the types of things that we go through in the programs that we have. Yeah,
that's awesome. So last but not least, let's talk about your host on the radio show Success for Women radio/TV show. So for those of you that don't know, I met Madeline through a mutual friend, and she interviewed me on her show. So take us back. Tell us how that happened. Was it something you aspired to and said, I really want to be on TV? Or did you were doing something and someone said, you have a great radio voice, let's go? Do you want to do this?
You know what? That just kind of happened. The radio show started first. I started the radio show in 2018. And it was just a matter of the person, someone that I knew was already doing a show. And so, she had interviewed me on her show. And afterwards we talked and I told her, I said, I would really like to bring information, tips and things to women about different things, just to show them that there are other women out there doing what you might want to do.
Yes.
And so don't think you can't do it, because you could do it too. And so she and I talked. And so she introduced me to her producer. And when I told him, basically what I wanted to do and, what type of show I wanted. And he said, oh, yeah. Well, then like I said, it started out as the radio show, the Successful Women radio show. And then in actually last August is when the TV portion of it came about. He asked me, he said, we have a TV portion that you can do also if you want to. He said, I think that'll be a great addition to the radio show.
Yes.
He said, when you air live, then you're on both. You're on the radio show and the TV show at the same time. And at first I thought, oh, I don't know, because on the podcast, I could just get up and I don't even have to comb my hair because
no
nobody
makeup,
will see me.
Got my slippers on.
So I had to give that one a little thought. And as I thought about it, I thought, okay, that might be okay. Let me try. I said, can I just try it for a little while to see how it'll go? And he said, yes. So he, I said, I don't want to be early in the morning and I don't want to be late at night.
Right.
So I have a good time. I'm at 2:00 in the day, Eastern Standard Time. So that worked out pretty good. And I've had a lot of fun. There's been a lot of women that have come through, and actually we're gonna have to bring you back on the TV portion of it. And
oh,
so you
Lord.
can talk
no
about,
pressure, right?
Yes, no pressure there, right? But I have had a lot of fun and bringing on women that have just talked about the thing. And I've had a couple men on there too, because anyone that can make an impact to, bring information to women, right. I'm all for it.
Right.
But the ladies that have come on there, it's just been great. And I did my last show yesterday for the year. And the lady that she was talking about public relations and being in the media and different things like that, and the benefits of that in helping your brand. And to start off the new year, I'm going to have they're both men. Both of them are presidents and CEOs of the Chamber of Commerce, one for Prince George's County and the other one for Howard County. And that's just to bring them on to tell women what are the benefits of being connected to the Chamber of Commerce.
Right.
Because people don't know.
People don't
know what the Chamber
right.
of Commerce does. They have a lot of programs. When I first started out years ago, I was part of, I became a part of the Chamber of Commerce, and, I got a lot done through them. So,
right.
And they have training, different resources that women, I think, probably a lot of women don't know about. And if you're in business, you need to know these things.
Right.
So that's how we're going to start off the new year for the show. But it's been great. I love it. And even though, like you said, I got to get up now and put on makeup, it's been okay. It's been okay. Yeah.
So tell our audience again how we can find you on your radio / TV show.
Well, Successful Women Radio and TV show, if you want to see any of the episodes, you can go actually on YouTube and put in Success, the number 4, and Women, WOMEN, or you can put in my name, Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, and either one of those pages will come up and you'll be able to see any of the episodes that we've been running so far.
Yeah, that's good to know. I think I'm going to check those out. And also, if someone wants to find you online, how would we find you?
Well, they can go to my website, of course, which is www.exwsi.com. Make sure if they do, they can download my free 3-part video series on 3 things every woman should do to position herself for executive leadership. Or you can email me at info@exwsi.com. And I'm on all the social media platforms. So just plug in my name and I'll come up.
Well, Madeline, it's been such a pleasure to have you on and learn more about you and everything you do, which is a lot. I'm still looking at it going, did I read that right?
I appreciate you inviting me on your platform. It's always a pleasure. I do really thank you for having me.
Well, Madeline, thank you so much. And for my sisters in service, until next time, this is Kat Corchado. I hope you will join us again for episode 12, where I will have as my guest Miss Deshauna Barber, Army veteran, CEO of the Service Women's Action Network, also known as SWAN, and the only active duty woman to win the prestigious title of Miss USA. I want to thank you for listening and hope that if you like what you hear, you will hit the subscribe button and forward this podcast to someone that could benefit from it. Until next time, please stay safe and take care of each other.